Hello wonderful people, I'm PvPSkillz and today I'm starting a new series where I showcase underrated yet powerful builds. Most people go with meta builds because they are common, they've been proven to be reliable and good, and it is the easy way to go because most people don't have a lot of time to experiment with different builds. But let me tell you, there are many good and viable builds in Dark Souls 3. And the intention of this series is to add variety to the world of Dark Souls, to see more interesting builds, and I do think these builds are very powerful. So let's start with our first build. First build is Pontiff Beast. I called it that because it seemed very appropriate. This build concentrates on all items and equipments that boost attacks with each consecutive hit. Items you need for this build is as follows. You need the Pontiff Right Eye Ring, you need the Old Wolf Curved Sword, and you need the Karthus Beacon, and any weapon that dual wields, like for example the double katana weapon, I don't know how to spell it, the Uni something Boony Doony, and then the second weapon, for example, like the Gotthard Twin Swords, or the Cell Swords, or the Warden Blades, whatever, any weapon that can attack fast. Even curved swords are a good candidate for this. And the secret is the Old Wolf Curved Sword. This is not known. So the Old Wolf Curved Sword has built-in right eye ring and left eye ring of Pontiff. By the way, in case you don't know, the left ring actually gives you HP instead of increasing your damage. The Old Wolf Curved Sword was my second weapon in the game. It's the second weapon I use, and I knew this effect. However, I did not know that it actually translates to other weapons that you're equipping at the time. So if you have it in your left hand or on your back, actually the other weapon you're using will get that effect, and that stacks with the rings and also stacks with the spell, the Karthus Beacon. All these do the same thing. They increase your attacks with every consecutive attack. That means when you stack all three, you can do up to 45%, or sorry, yes it is 45% more damage. That is insane. The buff starts with a third hit. That's why the dual wield weapons are the best candidates, since for example the Uni Dubi Booty Booty sorry man, I butchered that name, but it for example has 2 guaranteed L1s you can do on your opponent, which is 4 hits. That means you actually guarantee that buff for happening, especially when you use the hyper armor battle art and then you go L1 L1. It does make a huge difference with the fucking luck build and hollowing and bleed. You become a true monster. But the secret, as I told you, that when you have the Old Wolf Curved Sword on your back, it actually gives the buff to your other weapon, and I never knew that until recently, and it's super cool, to be honest. There is also another interesting way you can use this mechanic. However, that build I will share in my next video in the series. Just to recap, you need the Pontiff Right Eye Ring and you need the Old Wolf Curved Sword. I think the Karthus Beacon is optional since it's a spell. It takes 2 attunements, you need 12 faith and intelligence. It's pretty difficult to actually, put in a quality build, but it will make it much more powerful, that's for sure. And the Karthus Beacon is considered the most powerful since the buff actually starts from the first attack. So if you actually have the spell, you can right off the bat start doing extra damage with your weapons. The second build concentrates on HP regen. And oh boy, this build is so nasty. It's so nasty in fact that I cannot get any duels with this because most people actually heal on you when they see this build. So the items and spells you're going to be needing for this build is the Sun Princess Ring, Anri's Sword, Yorshka's Chime, Bountiful Sunlight, and the buff Blessed Weapon. All these regenerate your HP, and they're so good when you stack all these together. They actually offset the self-inflicting damage you get from the symbol of avarice, that helmet that damages you over time. So the Sun Princess Ring is your ring for your HP regen. Your weapon, your right hand weapon, is Anri's Sword. Anri's Sword has built-in HP regen, and it can be buffed with Blessed Weapon, which also has HP regen. And Blessed Weapon actually stacks with faith. The more faith you have, it actually heals you more. I think up to 4 HP per tick, I believe. Then you have Yorshka's Chime. It has to say, it doesn't have to be Yorshka's Chime, by the way. It can be any chime for that matter, as long as it's your left hand and you use the battle art for it, or the weapon art, whatever you want to call it. It actually does HP regen for you, and it doesn't consume any focus points, and it's very quick, so you can do it mid-fight with no worries. Really good buff. And the most important HP regen is the Bountiful Sunlight. It's the best spell, equipment, whatever in the game that regenerates your HP. Once you stack all these, you don't die basically, but it takes a long time to do all these buffs in a row. So usually you will be doing these in duels, not invasions, I guess. And even when you do it in duels, most people will heal on you because you're gonna be healing like a motherfucker. You know, you heal so fast. I'm telling you, it offsets the symbol of avarice. It's that good. Now you can also, if you want, because you know Yorushka's chime or any chime on your left hand is a big disadvantage, you know, because you're not using a weapon, you're not parrying, you're not blocking. So you can actually use a blessed weapon on your left weapon. Blessed weapons actually have also HP regen, so if you want to go with that, that's also okay, but it's not as good as, you know, the chimes battle art. So if you notice, both of these builds are equipment centric. Of course, now I just created the phrase equipment centric, never heard of that before. But yeah, you can have different stats and you can still achieve the same goal, especially with the first build. The second build, there are two options, to be honest. The first one, you can go with full faith, so you can use actually your spells once you have the chime on your left, so it can help you in that aspect. Or just go to the requirements you need for the bountiful sunlight. Sorry, I'm spelling that wrong, but just go to the requirement for the spell, add all the things you want, and just, you know, have maybe more like a dex build, maybe with the faith or something like that. But they're more reliable on equipment, that's the point. So these are the only two builds I'm featuring in this video, but this series will be ongoing. That's why I would love to hear your underrated builds in the comment section below. And if it was good enough, I will show them in my videos and I will mention you also. So yeah, please share that in the comment section and make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. Peace, guys.